Some people have the view that mana necessarily involves wrong view, because mana is comparing oneself with another as better, equal to, or worse than. And the person who has eradicated wrong view, that is the sotapanna, it doesn't mean that the sotapanna doesn't think in terms of I am sitting next to someone else.
You see that it's time to understand how deep reality is beyond anyone's imagination. There's a sutta about the foremost monks like Sariputta, Mogallana, Anuruddha, and so on. Just talk about very simple question for us. But in truth, who were they? Who are they? How much understanding? Much more than we are now. Just a little understanding, but try to understand everything. The question at the time is about what condition or what make the sala forest pleasant. Just very simple. But they all have different ideas and went to see the Buddha and ask about the answer. And the Buddha said they are all right according to their accumulation. So this life is so short. As much as we can learn is to understand the very subtle reality right now, stage by stage. Understanding will build up parami, conditions or kusala, to be able to understand the truth deeper and deeper. And to be truthful to oneself, even seeing right now is known by the word only. It's there, it's real, it can be known, it can be understood, little by little, to have firm confidence of the truth, to be such a parami. No matter how much Buddha taught about everything, but what can be known is according to the accumulation of one's understanding. To be truthful about what is there. It's a reality, it's there. Different moments, different realities. Even just to understand what is real, ultimate truth, or that which is not real, has to be considered very carefully. The truth is that actually there is no one at all. There are only the realities which is conditioned to be different one. There are so many words about that which arises and experiences the object, and many words about that which arises, appear, and cannot experience anything at all. They are so real in life because they are there now, but not known. We talk about titi, we talk about mana, we talk about memory, sati, and so on. But in truth, there are only different realities which arises and experience the object. No need to say that it's nama or it is rupa, because the reality is there to be known at the moment when it's there. It experiences something with its characteristic and its function. The firm confidence of the truth is understanding the nature of that which is there appearing. There is seeing right now. What is it? We can say it's not that which is seen, but not enough understanding of that which is seen and that which sees. There are more and more words about the truth, but it has to be considered to understand the truth, as it cannot be taken for anyone or anything, because understanding the nature of each reality when it appears little by little. For example, just understanding seeing is a self, is it enough? But understand the conditions for its arising, to let go the idea of I can do or that can be done. That's the way to understand whatever is there from moment to moment is by conditions only, not by anyone's will at all. Learn to understand the different characteristics in a day, to understand that they are conditioned, otherwise nothing can arise at all. So it's so much to learn, not just to remember the word. For example, at moment of what sees, someone will say, Chakku Viññāna sees. That's only the word, no matter in what language, but the reality which sees is there. We learned that seeing is a reality, it's a nama, it arises to experience the object. But what is there now? Seeing, just talk about the story of it, or the characteristic of a reality at that very moment arises just to see that which is seen. So it beyond one's accumulation to understand the very, very highly and deeply truth of even just what Buddha said, like Ditti and Mana. The Micchatitti is eradicated at moment of Sotapatimaka, but Mana is still there until level of Arahata, so it can be eradicated. That's why we learn a little more about each reality to understand the truth of no one and nothing at all. This is the point of understanding what is there as no one, anatta. And in a day, there are more than just seeing. So many different realities are there unknown from moment to moment. So we learn a little more at a time to understand the difference between each reality, like Ditti and Mana and seeing, to begin to have firm confidence of reality as of self at all. So each moment in life is the proof for one's understanding, how much understanding of this very moment, not just thinking about the story of it. Learn to understand the truth of each moment as whether it is the result of karma, the vipaka, or the cause kusala and akusala, little by little to let go the idea of self, which is so very deep, very subtle, accumulated. That's why the words of the Buddha is beyond anyone's imagination. But the truth is that moment of understanding any reality begins to understand the difference between that which arises and experience the object and that which arises and cannot experience, not just in word but in truth. Who knows that at moment of seeing there are 7 Jetasikas arising without the teaching of the Buddha? But learn to understand each different reality, to understand a little more that they cannot be taken for things or self or permanent reality at all. That's why learn to understand the nature of reality, not just the word about it. That's the way we are talking and learning, developing the parami to realize the truth little by little. No matter it is seeing, hearing, thinking, liking, or whatever, it is the reality which arises to experience the object according to its characteristic and its function. Without the teachings of the enlightened one, who knows now that seeing is seeing, even it seems like there is seeing and hearing together. While we are talking, there is seeing all the time and so on. But the truth is that which Buddha taught about each of them. We learn to understand that attachment and aversion cannot arise together with seeing or hearing at all. And we learn to understand that wrong understanding, Micchatitti, is different from Mana. And at moment of having wrong understanding, there's no mana together. As one knows from the teaching, the wrong understanding is completely, absolutely eradicated at moment of Sotapatimaka. But mana is there deeper than that it can be eradicated only at moment of Arahatamaka. That's what the teachings of the Buddha from his enlightenment. So we can consider each word as it is, not by our expectation or imagination. At moment when we say, seeing is Jakku Vijnana, what does it mean? But when there is the moment of beginning to understand it, it's real, it's that which seems a reality. That's the meaning of Jakku Vijnana. So each word represents the reality or convey the truth of that reality. Not only the meaning, Jakku is the eye and Vijnana is that which experiences the object through the eyes. So each word of the teachings of the Buddha about reality is not just to follow the words, but to understand the truth of what is there, little by little. So at moment of seeing right now, there can be the development of understanding of seeing. It sees, but it does not appear, only that which is seen appear. That can be known. The truth that what is there appearing can be known, but that which is not there cannot be known, which appears. So at moment of seeing, what can be known as not self has to be the understanding of that reality which is seen, different from the moment of thinking of what is seen as someone or something, and the reality which arises, which experiences the object, just one moment in the process, see, is so very deep. That's why learning to understand the truth of life, no matter in this world or other world, or as someone or something, or some cat or some, it has to be understood that in truth there are only different kinds of reality. One experiences the object and the other cannot experience the object. In order to begin to realize the truth of that moment as seeing is not that which is seen. Not only seeing is Nama, and that which is seen is Rupa. That's why I learn to understand the nature of the reality which experiences the object when it's there, appearing. So, is there seeing appearing now? It should be considered about different degrees of understanding the teachings.